And now, our feature presentation.
You are watching a master at work.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rafael Chacín, as known as El Capitán Rafucho, and welcome to a special edition of Let 'em Speak, because right now we're in the month of June, and you know what that means. It is the perfect month for summer, and of course, we got the Copa America and we got the EuroCup. A full summer of fully soccer, and it's all about soccer. It's not about football because the football is going to be on September, August when it comes to preseason is the NFL. But right now we have a special guest right now. So you might know as one of those best soccer YouTubers that we just saw around here, because right now not only he talks about for the international soccer, but also he's talking about for MMS. But we're gonna talk about for Euro Cup, Cup America, which is started between this week for the Euro Cup, and the next week is gonna be the Copa America. So, ladies and gentlemen, this man needs no introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present you Ryan Anderson. So, how you feel about it? Because we are ready to see the summer of soccer, because right now we are really excited about for the Euro Cup and Copa America.
Hey, this is only the first part of it because we still got Leagues Cup and Olympics as well. This ain't it. This is going to be a fun month, but July and August will be crazy too. So I can't wait. Should be an enjoyable 2 tournaments. Hopefully Italy and Canada don't embarrass me, because if they do, I'm not going to be happy about it. But it'll be enjoyable to watch, even if my teams do get embarrassed. But let's see how let me preface, there will be no bias here. What I say is because I think it's going to happen, okay?
Even if exactly.
Hat and jersey.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, speaking about that, because right now it is a special occasion to talk about for Euro Cup 2024, which is going to be celebrated in Germany, and Copa America, which is celebrated in the United States. Because remember, in 1994, they just celebrated the FIFA World Cup in the United States when Brazil took the World Cup championship. And then in 2006, we relieve about for the Italy versus France at 2006 FIFA World Cup in Munich, Germany. I mean, there's so many memories right now. But first and foremost, we're talking about for the Euro Cup 2024 in Germany. So there's going to be a lot of competition right now. So I will somehow, there's going to be a shock the entire world, because I'm going to show off for like this one. And what are those shocking predictions is somehow, somewhere, Germany will butt it out of the group at home. I mean, there's like another predictions, could be anything, because the team of Ukraine could be like a potential dark horse. It could be like very far, given the fact they not only just have it like a war, but they're stimulated the sentiment, but also there is Denmark, there's Czech Republic, Turkey. Also, France is a very pretty safe bet to win. But also Germany has a looking very good recently. We happen to the shootout for the recent performance that is very shocking. Someone will win, someone will lose. Some people get drawn, some people lose money, but who knows about it? I mean, they're definitely going to work it up. So right now, I'm going to tell you about this. Who got like the biggest predictions? So who will win this Euro Cup 2024, and who will be like one of those teams that have like the biggest shocking for the Euro Cup 2024 in Germany?
I feel like France will be shocked. Mbappe, I'm going to start with my shock. Mbappe saying it's harder to win the Euros than the World Cup, that's going to end up being a meme by the end of the month, because he wanted to take a shot at South America, as he always has recently, which I don't think he should. CONMEBOL is very underrated, I would say. But Mbappe saying it's harder to win the Euros is going to be a meme. And I feel like France will be knocked out by Italy because in the semifinals, because Italy has a low-key better squad than they did in 2021 with a better manager in Luciano Spalletti. And Italy's got a strong defense. They got a strong defense. They got forwards like Retegui and Scamacca. Chiesa could carry again. And I think Vicario is going to earn the starting job over Donnarumma. And I think Vicario is a better goalkeeper right now than Donnarumma, which in the end, if you beat England and France to get to the final, you're going to win the Euros back-to-back. So I have Italy winning. I think they could do it. I think they have that same belief system that they did in 2021 going in, like they want to make a statement. They have a coach that can help them make a statement, and I think they have the talent to do it. So even though it looks a little bit biased, I do think Italy can do it, and I think they could go back to back. I like what I see under Spalletti, defensively and offensively. It's a better team than what Mancini ever had. That was really just Chiesa carrying, and then once Chiesa blew his ACL, it was done for them. It was done for that era. I think this team is more even, more well built, more well managed, and I think you're going to see that over the next month.
Yeah, that's exactly. But also for Italy, he certainly had to have a history of success on international sense, because right now there remains like underrated against powerhouses like England, Spain, Germany, with so many younger players. They trying to build enough of the team. They be ready for the Euro Cup, and for years it's coming like at the start of the process instead of waiting. I mean, even though they had to go for receive plenty of criticism for failing like to qualify for the World Cup in 2022, they're rising up for the ranking. They have to clean out for the ninth place, but also they have the group rivals, which is Spain and Croatia. Also, they're trying out for the couple spots. Many don't think that Italy can win the Euro 2024 because though people they feel exactly like the same 3 years ago. The last time they just won against England at Wembley Stadium was an incredible feat, but obviously it's gonna be tough to look at sorry to repeat what Spain did in 2008 and 2012, winning like back to back. But I think that Italy will give like through the group stage at least or one win and draw like if that side has a less experience, if that one had to go for like Spalletti with the talent when it comes to the big game. But I think it's gonna face like an uphill battle other to go for the 2024. But the two like the solid skills available, they're young and talented roster. They have to manage with the good shot. They're getting out for the group run and giving like experience for some of those players who are ready to shine on the international stage. So regardless of that, we had to do look forward to be a solid month that had the UEFA has offer. But I think they had still a chance. But I think that how many wonder has got to go for recent changes to like the very competitive field. They have it a factor determining for the success of the Euro 2024, and they're gonna make it like a deep run for the tournament.
I agree with that. But again, some other teams that helped, I would say, that also sort of give me the feeling that I have. England, I think Southgate knows they're like the way he says, like, if we lose, I'm gone. I think he knows that even though the team has the talent, I think he knows at this point that his tactics are not good enough to win big games for England. And I think he honestly wonders how he still has a job at this point. Because Southgate, to me, the tactics just aren't good enough. It's sad when you have players like Cole Palmer, who I do think Cole Palmer is a better winger than Bukayo Saka. I think Cole Palmer should start for England this summer. That's two things I think that would really help England is if Cole Palmer started at the wing and Trent started in midfield. If that happens, England's better off than where they would be if they started Trent at right back and started Saka. But they're probably going to do the latter instead of the former. But for me, Cole Palmer's a great player. Then you have Bellingham, who's a Ballon d'Or candidate. If England wins the Euros, Bellingham wins the Ballon d'Or. It's that simple, I think. And if England doesn't win the Euros and Brazil wins the Copa, Vinny wins the Ballon d'Or. I think it's pretty much that simple. But a guy like Bellingham, such a talented player. Cole Palmer, talented. Declan Rice, talented. The fact that England has this much talent, this is their best team they've probably ever had. Even better than the Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes era. And the fact they can't do anything with it is an absolute mind-boggling situation. They have such a good team, it makes no sense. Then you look at a team like Spain, and I just don't trust De La Fuente. I think he's not that good of a manager. I think, yes, they have the talent on paper, but again, they're trying to get rid of their ideals under Enrique and other managers of the sort just to maybe have a better chance of scoring goals. But again, their forward line, I mean, when you're calling up Hazelu to a World Cup or Euro squad and other squads, it's not good enough. And then you have a manager like De La Fuente. It's just, to me, Spain's going to be underwhelming, as they have been for the past couple of tournaments. And then, of course, France. I have a feeling they're just going to fail at some point. And it's not because of the Canada draw. Trust me, it's not because of that. I've had this feeling before that game that France will just find a way to absolutely ruin it, which, I mean, Mbappe, the way he acts, I mean, fitting, because he likes to just take shots at South America every chance he gets. I don't know if it's because he lost the World Cup or he just doesn't like South American football, but yeah.
I mean, that's a great point. And of course, we can see like the different groups right here for the Euro 2024. In the Group A, we had Germany, Scotland, Hungary, Switzerland. In the Group number B, which is Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania. Group number C, which is Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, England. Group D, we have Poland, Netherlands, Austria, and France. The E is going to be confirmed with Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, Ukraine. And the last but not least, they have the Group F, which is Turkey, Georgia, Portugal, and Czech Republic. I mean, if there's going to be like a superior about it, because if you're talking about for like, because after we just see like Italy performance at Euro 2021, I mean, if the another one which is very complicated, that it doesn't vary about it at all, because whenever we just see like Croatia performance, I mean, that could be like a set of expectations, but they're not getting out for Brazil in the match for the semifinals. But they still have the golden generation at the sponsor, but they could be the struggle up in the summer. Also, there's like another teams right now. I mean, they're all eyes on England in the Group C, which is like they're poised to perform impressively in the group, but they're gonna get it again for the summer. But there's no standouts weakless in the group, because which other nations would we probably send forward like Slovenia with more relevant for the star striker Benjamin Setsko, which is like a competing at his first major tournament. And I think that we're kind of for the groups right now. I mean, France, it will take a look at a lot of advantage, because the champs is already talented and led by the world player Kylian Mbappe, which is more capable for an intro and a ball stop with like better like switch exit. But the group of players looked at it beyond that. Because remember, if they see at the World Cup 2018, which they won against Croatia, and they just lost against Argentina in 2022. But I think they had to top it up for like bigger position, they're happy to top of the label. But it's gonna be like very difficult to be like Austria, Netherlands, and Poland, which is like the underdogs in that group.
France, when it comes to playing against those teams, Netherlands is going to be a hard sell, because Netherlands are the ones who beat the ever-loving snot out of Canada. Let's go with that. They beat the snot out of them. France didn't. France has a good forward line, but Netherlands has some really dynamic talent, especially with a guy like Jeremy Frimpong, who only lost one game this year. And it was probably the biggest game they could have lost, but they only lost one game this year.
Exactly.
You have guys like Memphis Depay, who's still kicking. You have Wout Weghorst, who, even though Messi trolled him, he's still a solid striker at times. But again, Netherlands has a strong side. Ronald Koemans, I'm going to say he's not as good tactically as you would want, but at least the players that they have a lot of talent. And Netherlands, they're tipped to do something big this summer. I wouldn't say that exactly, but they're definitely going to be a power in this tournament. I think they're definitely going to show at least a little bit of good quality for this tournament. But France versus Netherlands, that's a game I'm very interested in. But Poland and Austria, Poland, for me, other than Lewandowski, I think Poland is sort of getting older. They're pushing the boundaries. Austria, I mean, those are two teams that'll play tough. It'll make it a hard day, but I think in the end, Netherlands and France do what they're supposed to do against those two teams. And I think Lewandowski will single-handedly probably beat Austria in the end of that group. But again, France and Netherlands are the teams that you really have to pay attention to in that group for my money.
Yep, it is right. And I agree with that. And of course, there is like a lot of tough decision. I had to go for the Euro Cup 2024, but I mean, it gets like it on the way, but also they're gonna be aiming to win the competition for the very first time. Because after we to see like the performance of Italy or the holdovers with England aiming to win the competition for the first time, it's gonna be like a somehow for the group stage, knockout finals and final. I mean, there's gonna be like a it's around the corner, and they have it a mail to prove out the last is kind with Germany playing as a host, but having some of the group stages will have to shape them off that would have took drop in December. And how's it gonna be like at a conclusion for the playoffs? So it's gonna be like at the fun to see how it is gonna watch it for the Arab nations. So after we just talked about for the Euro Cup 2024, now let's get back to the Copa America 2024, which is the next week on Thursday, June 20. So right now, I'm gonna tell you for this one. This is like the first time we're gonna celebrate the Copa America in United States. So right now, I'm gonna see like more prepare for the Copa America 2024 because right now, let's see for the groups right now. At the group A, they got Argentina, Peru, Chile, and of course they got Canada. At the group B, they just got Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela, Jamaica. Group C, they have United States, Paraguay, Panama, Bolivia. Group D, which is like very important to see about it. So they had Brazil, Colombia, Paraguay, Costa Rica. I mean, what can I tell you about this one? This is like the biggest celebration that I had to go through. I mean, La Copa America 2024 is going to be a lot of surprises, but also it has going to be like a lot of disappointment. But people had to convince they don't understand about it. It's not only about for the bets, but also about for the performance. Because right now, let's just say like a probability. Because Argentina, they just won the World Cup in 2022, but they had to be careful about for Brazil because they know that Brazil and Argentina they are the biggest threats of the Copa America because they just got the best of the best. But also, they just got like in another countries who became like the underdogs. Someone like Mexico, Uruguay, Colombia, Venezuela, Peru. I mean, if Brazil and Colombia go like at the first and second one, the United States will have to go to beat Paraguay to win the privilege of facing Colombia. But it's gonna be like a very good things right now. But I think that it's gonna be like a better chance if they group it to make it up for the group right now. But we didn't consider about the path to the final. It makes sense that Mexico defense could be like really better, but Uruguay is gonna be very tough. Brazil, Colombia looking good. I mean, essentially for the two favorites. And I know that Venezuela last performance, it was just like having off with a fourth place in 2011 what they play in Argentina. I mean, they have it at a bigger, higher chance because right now, after what you see from Venezuela during like the kickoff and everything, I mean, can have it like a huge test. It all depends for the tactics and how the player is gonna perform. I mean, it everything has to go for the Bandit Saints. I mean, they have the odds winning like the Copa America. So I gotta tell you for this one, who will like the biggest surprise and who will win the Copa America 2024? And I know that Argentina could have it a bigger adder. So right now, it all depends for like the biggest threats of all this continent, which is Argentina, Brazil. Also, they just got Mexico, Uruguay, Colombia.
For me, I think the biggest surprise is going to be Canada. I think the way Canada
Okay.
played against France, I think Canada's going to win the two games that are against Argentina in Group A. I think they'll give Argentina a run for their money. They're going to beat Mexico in the knockout stage and get to the semifinals and play Argentina again. Probably lose, but give Argentina a run for their money again. I know that's basically what they should do, but the way they do it, I think, is going to be the surprise because you also bake in the fact they went to France and drew France 0-0 and could have won that game. I think under Jesse Marsh, Canada's going to turn some heads with the way they play this tournament. And the fact they do give Argentina a run for their money twice. Does that mean lose but tight? Probably. Does that mean maybe you draw one of the two games? Could be. But if you're in that position, 50th in the world and you play the best team in the world and
Yes.
give them their money twice, and then also drew the second best team in the world over 3 games in 1 month. Yeah, the Netherlands game wasn't a good start, but when you do something like that, that's going to be a surprise. Like, and if they somehow win one of those games, I'd rather it be the semifinal. That's even bigger. That's even bigger, and that's exactly a definite surprise. And I'm not going to say I'd streak down my street, but it's going to be a crazy one. It's going to be, I don't know exactly how I'm going to celebrate that one, but maybe fireworks or something. That sounds a lot better as fireworks. Wow. But again, speaking of Argentina, I still have Argentina winning the Copa. Argentina's got the best side. Argentina's the favorite right now. Brazil, to me, doesn't really show anything. Dorival is not that good of a manager. Brazil blew a 2-0 lead against Mexico and then won in the end because Endrick is such a great player. They drew the USA 1-1, who had just come off a 5-1 pasting from Colombia, who has a 20-game winning streak. A Colombia that has a 20-game winning streak, who's looked amazing right now, who has beaten Brazil in World Cup qualifying in South America. I think Argentina has the best chance of winning this tournament. Uruguay is somebody I have to be more worried about, but I still think they have more talent in that pool to beat a team like Uruguay, or if they have to play a Colombia, they would have to beat a team like that. But I think Argentina can do that. Argentina has enough talent to beat any team in this tournament, and I think they will. I think they want to make a point. I think they want to do the Spain Copa, World Cup, Copa, 3 in a row, international trophies type thing. And since Messi's not playing the Olympics, he's going to put everything into this tournament. So I just don't see a world where Argentina doesn't win this tournament.
I mean, that's a really fact, because even they just saw like a great performance in 2022 FIFA World Cup. I mean, they became like the big favorites, but also they do believe they're gonna win, because I will not surprise if all the Brazil or Uruguay, because they are scary teams. I mean, there's like another teams like which Venezuela, United States. It could be like a dark horse if they wanted something like very controversial. But if they could do well, they have the fixtures to count them. But it's not even like at the top 5 to win, honestly. I mean, if they have like the safest picks, because the match that most teams have a chance is upset the Gulf of the way. So after we just saw Chile in 2015, because they just have like a non-zero chance. But why would they get a win? Because it's not gonna be, unfortunately. But I really thought that it could have been managed through the get for the group stage. But then I think Argentina is gonna be like the highest favorites. But also just like Brazil. If they had to go to bed right now, I mean, they could be like to deliver. And like you said about it, Canada could be like a big surprise in the Group A. It got to run it off over Peru and Chile. I mean, how is it going to be like a really knockout at a quarterfinals match? I'm very hoping that I had to go to Mexico down, because remember when Mexico they destroyed Honduras in 2001? I mean, they could be like to make it anything. They couldn't make it anything, because if they had to defeat Uruguay, Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, don't get me wrong, because it can be done for like a lot of teams with great defense, great offense. I mean, if they want to believe, I mean, they're gonna punch a ball through the way. I mean, just like the phrase say never. But I think it's gonna be so realistic, because if they wanted to see like one of the best right now, I mean, it's gonna be like a go big, go home. But I think it's gonna be like a big favorite, because they're gonna live right that one. Because there's one athlete that we never had to go to speak about it, which is Lionel Messi. And also, it's not like a rocket science. It's not a revelation to have it done for the strong favorites for over the summer. And I mean that it's not much has really changed it at all after, because that team is gonna be like a one big family. They are big and successful together, and they found like a winning formula. I mean, enough game can be beaten. Colombia, but the tournament has assumed in the favor of Argentina. They cannot face Brazil, Colombia, or Uruguay until the final of the tournament, which is like an outrageous advantage. And I will tell you for this one, if they want to be like a really favorite, so they have to be careful. Like horses. I mean, they could be a big, assuming if another things that is playing with that position that we have with the face, that would be not with an easy game by any means, but it will be like a fair, realistic way to compare the other side of the draw.
Yeah, I think Group A teams and that'll be Group C or Group D, Group A and Group B. Like I think I think Argentina got an easy draw. I'll agree with that because again, Brazil, Colombia, and all those teams and Uruguay are on the side of the bracket where they're all beating each other up, and Brazil. Out of those three teams, I'm the lowest on Brazil. That's weird, but Brazil's a team right now that I'm very low on, especially under their Diniz era. Exactly. Fernando Diniz is not as good as people want to say he is. He's not. And Dorival, as a manager, I feel like Dorival's just another Tite, to be honest. Like, yeah, he's great in the Brasileiro, but I don't think he's a good national manager. He just drew Greg Berhalter. Like, that's a good manager. Damn near blew a lead to Mexico and drew Greg Berhalter. And that's a good manager to you. Yeah, okay, no. Like, I mean, I'm sure Diniz would have probably lost to both of them, but okay. Like, a USA, they got pasted by Colombia. The same Colombia you lost to, 3 months ago? I mean, Colombia's on fire right now. But Colombia's on fire right now, for sure. But, again, Brazil, it's sad. It's sad because I expect more out of Brazil. I know they're one of the best teams in the world. I grew up watching Brazil being, like, high-flying, well-playing team, and now they're just – that's another team that's forsaking their identity. Like, yeah, they have Endrick and Vinicius and players like that, but you don't see the Samba football that they had. They're trying to grow out of that, and I think that's the wrong decision because Brazil's known for the football that they play, the Samba football that they play, and the fact they're trying to change that and grow out of that and try to play more tiki-taka, more Pep Guardiola type football because that's the era we're in, I think that's a bad idea. You use what got you to the dance, not try to change it because everybody else is doing the same thing. And I think that's Brazil's problem is they're trying to change their identity to fit the mold of the current era. And I think that's hurting Brazil. They need a team that plays the samba, free-flowing, dancing football that they used to play under El Fenomeno, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos. That team. Not now with Vinicius. Like, Vinicius is a great player. Endrick is a great player. You have the grouping there to play that style, but you choose to just be more like everybody else. And I think in the end, that's the thing that's hurting Brazil. Truly.
Yeah, exactly. And I know about for the performance of Brazil in the World Cup because I remember since I was a little kid and I was watching the final between Brazil versus Germany. I mean, they just have like a golden era. And then after that, we just see like another legendary players playing for the World Cup in 2006, 2010. Also, they came robbed in 2014 at their own home. But I think that after the golden era has become like a sort of like a disappointment because right now, like golden era of Brazil is no longer here because right now we just see like a brand new generation. And what you just see about for Brazil's team, I mean, in South America, because the only continents which you see about it, which is Brazil and Argentina, but also they just got Colombia, Peru, Chile, Venezuela, because they became like the dark horses. But in only at the time when it comes to FIFA World Cup Copa America or something about for Copa Libertadores. I mean, they always get their all eyes on Brazil and Argentina because they always seem like the very favorite. But I don't see like anything could happen on this tournament. I mean, it could be like something really reliable about it because it never feels like very confident. But if they wanted to believe it about for the chances right now, I mean, it's gonna be somehow somewhere. It's gonna be like the calling out for like the defense and everything about it. I mean, that should be really enough for that because if we look at see it for the squad numbers, I mean, if you see like at a lot of different players, I mean, Endrick number 9, I mean, Arozao, I mean, Bailey, Rodrigo, Arpina, I mean, it worked decently well, but I mean, Doribal with the coaching, I mean, it's more notable because he was like something like the formula is gonna be working it out, but I don't think it's gonna be real enough to get involved with the brand new generation. Because if you look at it, see Brazil over the last times, we just see like the glory days in the FIFA World Cup, just like it back in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. I mean, the golden era, it doesn't exist because right now it's past the stage. But right now, we just see like at another brand new generation. We're gonna see like at another brand new stars because right now, after Pelé, after Ronaldo, after Ronaldinho, after Kaká, after Neymar. So right now, who can be like the hero for the Brazil selection for this generation?
For me, I don't know why, but I feel like Endrick's going to hit the ground running. Like if there's any hero, it would have to be Endrick because even though he's almost 18, I think he's not there yet, but I think he turns during the tournament. Endrick, the way he's been playing the past couple of windows, scoring against England, Spain, Mexico, he's a big game player. He's got ice in his veins. And it's a wonder of how young he is, the fact he has the ice in his veins that he does. I am very interested in seeing Endrick play. He's played very well for Palmeiras. He's going to Real Madrid. Endrick's a talented player. I don't know if I like the Pele comparisons because people are comparing him to Pele, and I don't like that. I think my dad would say that was even more delusional because Pele was his favorite player growing up because that's basically what the time was.
Yep.
But Endrick is a good player. I don't know if he's Pele 2.0, but he's a very good player with ice in his veins going to Madrid, and maybe he plays more for Madrid this year than Vinicius did in 2018. It's a similar type move, but yeah, I mean, Endrick, I think at this point it's him and Vinicius, but I think Endrick is going to end up being just slightly better.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's gonna be like a lot of chance to prove because, like I said it before, Brazil and Argentina they just got like bigger teams to prove themselves because they had to be careful about for the dark horses, the underrated, the underdogs. I mean, people really thought that South America had a great culture in soccer because they just got Brazil, they just got Argentina, they just got the best of the best. But also they just got Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, they just got Peru, Ecuador, Chile. I mean, they just got like the best, but they just had to feel like they became like a strong contenders, but also they became like the dark horse because even though that I just learning about for the soccer since I was a little kid, and I was support with the La Vinotinto, which is like the Venezuela football team. And then I just started to figure it out because right now I feel like this is like the perfect moment to see how they grow, how they evolve because they are the turning out for the page, and then let's just start moving out for the brand new generation, and then boom, let's just get it because right now after what you see like growing up or like or soccer players getting retired, and of course in the game of like the last game, I mean, this is like in the moment that we can never stock up because when having to go for the generational player goes out, right now has to go for another one, which is like a younger had to go for be like the captain or to be like a what are those players so that can be like on this generation right now. So I gotta tell you for this one, thanks for having us at this special soccer summer special, along with a special guest, Ryan Anderson, because right now we're just talking about for EuroCup and Copa America, which is between this month, June, is gonna be EuroCup Copa America, and then in July there's gonna be soccer at the Olympics. So it's gonna be an interesting summer.
And Leagues Cup.
Oh yes, yes it is. So right now I got. Yeah, I think the signal is getting like at a very lower, but I gotta tell you, thanks for joining us, Ryan. So where can we find you on the social media, and where can we watch your play-by-play and reactions about for all these soccer international teams? Because what I just saw, like the international teams, like whether it comes to friendly, whether it comes to CONCACAF, CONMEBOL, I mean, you have like the audacity to see what's going to happen in the international soccer on this day. So where can we find you on the social media? Then the people can saw you about your soccer content.
So go subscribe to my YouTube, Ryan Anderson at Ryan Anderson 27. Of course, all CONCACAF content, whether it's club, international. We'll talk about the Euros at pieces these next 2 months, mostly Italy and Croatia, because, well, Italy fan and Croatia's in the same group, but the Croatians love me. If you look at some of the Croatian videos I've done, they love me. So we'll be going there. We'll talk about the finals and semifinals as well of that tournament. We will cover Copa America from pillar to post, Canada, USA, Argentina, everything about Copa. There will not be a stone left unturned for that, because that's our backyard, as it should be, South America and North America. That's the one we're really focusing on, but there will be a good bit of Euro coverage as well. But no stone left unturned for the Copa. We are going to celebrate this like the summer that it should be. I regret that I missed the Centenario, at least covering it, because that summer was an amazing summer. Hopefully this summer matches up to the Centenario summer as well, because I think you forgot about that, because it was the Centenario that Chile also won the year after 2015. They won that back-to-back. But again, CONCACAF's back at the Copa. It's going to be a beautiful tournament. Hopefully it's a good dry run for the World Cup. Hopefully Canada shows out. Hopefully the USA doesn't embarrass themselves like they did against Colombia, because that was absolutely embarrassing. And hopefully Mexico shows out well as well. I hope the team that wins the Copa is a strong team that deserves to win it. And it's not just, I hope Argentina has to fight for it. Let's just put it like that. Hopefully it's not a walkover, because I don't want to see this tournament be like, yep, I'm not surprised. That was as easy as it could have been. I want to see a fight. Like, I want to see a Royal Rumble, so to speak, last man standing, bring it home. And hey, I hope if a CONCACAF team wins, I hope they're the ones that go to Finalissima and they don't screw them over, because I would love to see Italy versus a CONCACAF team, preferably Canada at the Finalissima next summer. But, I would want one where I win either way. But, but again, follow my YouTube. There's going to be a lot of content over the next month, and even more than that, because after this, we go into the Olympics, the Leagues Cup, MLS All-Star Game, CONCACAF Central American Cup. We're not stopping in July. We're still going to be busy until about October, November. I'm going to be legitimately ran into the ground by the end of it.
Yes.
But it's worth it. It's worth it. So let's have a great 2024 the rest of the year. The first couple of months have just been the warm-up. We're going to be rolling for the next couple of months. So subscribe to the channel. I'll probably put it in the comments for the people watching in the pay-per-view version or after version. But but again, follow the YouTube. There's going to be a lot of content over the next month and more. And we may even talk about, there'll be some college football in the fall as well. But I don't really want to talk about the NFL because the Patriots suck. But the fall as well. So Hail State, that's what I'm looking forward to in the fall. You may be looking forward to the Raiders. Hopefully Antonio Pierce is the guy, but a lot of over the next couple of months. So we'll see.
Yep, it is. So thank you very much. And of course, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to El Capitán Rafucho on YouTube, and of course, ring the bell for notifications. So right now, it's been like an amazing special episode talking about for soccer, because it is the summer of soccer, and we will never forget. We will never forget, because tomorrow is going to be the EuroCup 2024 in Germany between Germany Germany versus Scotland. And then the next week is going to be Copa America 2024, United States. So my name is Rafael Chacín, as known as El Capitán Rafucho, along with the special guest, Ryan Anderson. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Have a great weekend. And of course, see you there. And then another episode of Let Him Speak, talking about for soccer. And we are out of here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Let's go.